Hey everyone, welcome back to Lawyers, Mediators International Show and Podcast. LMIpodcast.com is a site. It's where we talk about the law and conflict resolution topics to educate both professionals and everyday people. I am back with Khalid Hamich, and who's airing from the Netherlands in Holland, and he'll be here to talk to us a little bit about mediation, conflict resolution, and multicultural issues, and some of the things that he's seen and worked with in order to try to address conflict in people's lives. So, Khalid, how are you doing today? Thank you for coming back.
Good, good. How are you?
Yes, good. Thank you so much. And
Great.
it was good to have a little talk with you earlier pre-show to discuss a topic which is kind of fascinating. You know, I live in a country that I was not born in. And so I sometimes like to say that gives me a little bit of a perspective from the outside coming in. And now I am a fully American. And so therefore I bring certain cultural knowledge to conversations that I might be having with certain regards. You have somewhat the same thing. You live in Europe, but you also work in Morocco, and you also work in Asia. You were in Shanghai recently. And so that gives you a lot of different perspectives when it comes to cultural dynamics, when it comes to dealing with people, especially mediating problems with people who might be from two different countries, different cultures, different continents. And so just wanted to have a quick conversation with you that other people may benefit from. And that is to have you talk to us about what are some of these cultural dynamics that you see when you sit down and you talk to people from two different backgrounds. How do you help people make peace and bridge, the gap between differences that people might have? And so, doing a little research, I found out that in the Netherlands, in Dutch culture, there's something called, I'm probably messing it up, polodron, which is the idea of being a direct person, getting to the point, saying what you mean, meaning what you say, something that doesn't exist in other cultures you might deal with. Um, how do you deal in a mediation setting between two people where one person is very direct, to the point, matter of fact, while the other person is not? How do you, as somebody who is both in your culture in the Netherlands, but also who works in Morocco, how do you as a mediator deal with those kind of differences? So go ahead.
Yeah. Again, thank you very much. I think the most important thing is have a pre-talk. So before we get into the mediation, before we get into the most of the time heavy subjects of the conflict resolving talks we're gonna have, is to understand each other, understand me and the other party, and as well as the third party as well, and that that should not be something very hidden or just in a separate conversation. We can do that in one setting with all of the parties. Mostly it's the two other parties with you, and we could talk about something I could see coming on the long run, and that could be cultural differences, from any type of form. Um, um, I have basic rules I work with. There are basic rules regarding mediation, doing mediation as well. So I combine these two, and sometimes I feel necessary to add something to the conversation which we should work with and respect. Most of the time, it goes well when you get both parties to recognize each other in the level of respect and understanding. It's
Gotcha.
something you have to, I think, feel and see to use. Otherwise, you're gonna start learning things which are not written.
hmm So how do you bridge the gap where one side might feel like the other side is being rude, but it's not rudeness, it's the other side's culture. It's how they speak, it's how they talk, it's how they do things. In mediation, you're supposed to be neutral, right? As a mediator, right? That's what we're taught, that's what we're trained. And we're neutral, we're in the middle, we're trying to help the two parties control their own destinies. But how do you then, I guess, act in the middle where one side might take offense to the way the other side's speaking, but that way is just a cultural matter, not because they're being rude.
Making sure the party who gets offended or maybe well, in some case attacked by this cultural difference gets more understanding on who we are and who are these people in this room, who are we as people, but from cultural differences as well. Luckily, most of the my guests are my clients are know each other, so that means they already have some history with each other, so it doesn't come very raw.
Yeah.
But in some cases, as you said, you have to speak up and act as the leader to make sure that every party understands each other and there is a cultural difference. You could speak you can yeah, talk like this and say there might be a cultural difference in the room, we should respect that. And I mostly add confirmations hidden in questions, like when I have my two clients, I say, do you understand this difference of cultural difference? He said, yes, I understand them. Do you understand them as well? And so at that point we have an agreement settled for this cultural difference there is, which I could all at any moment call up on when things get a little bit not okay with these cultural differences. Um, yeah, you have to really keep everything sharp for yourself to make sure everybody is feeling okay to talk, and you can have a very light and good question.
Yeah. So it sounds like you ask a lot of clarifying questions to the person to make sure that they understand. Is that kind of the key?
I think in the Dutch mediations, definitely.
Yeah. So how do you deal with misunderstandings? Because it's going to come up.
You just
Uh,
mentioned them.
so give me like, can you give me examples? How do you, if somebody misunderstands something and you as a mediator are aware that there is a misunderstanding, how do you make sure that the person doesn't keep that misunderstanding going?
So when I see the misunderstanding and it isn't mentioned, so nobody is
Yeah.
has felt attacked or misunderstood, I would say it anyway, because I would say, "Did you understood what he said?" Just to make sure you don't feel misunderstood. So you're actually talking to a fourth person who isn't in the room, mentioning that um, there has been something. I've seen something, and I think there could be some misunderstanding. Was there some misunderstanding? Yes or no? If not, let's continue. Mention it, because a lot of people won't express themselves with the same words, or will keep them in them. You don't know how people are in their personal life. You have people who keep a lot of information to them, feel offended and not talk. The other one will feel offended and speak out about it. So I have to defend every situation, every feeling, every every slight of difference in the room, which could which could stir up my whole mediation.
Mm. So in Moroccan culture, I understand that saving face or hushuma, i.e., shame, is a pretty important concept. And so, how do you address this when you're dealing with another culture who's in the same room and it's two people from two different cultures, one from Morocco, the other one is not? How do you address this to make sure that I guess is mitigated and not become a big factor in destroying a mediation?
Um, I think by mentioning the not just only the cultural differences, but as well respecting the law as we know it in that specific country,
Mm,
where Morocco Islamic State. So that means there is Islamic rules to be applied. There are Islamic rules to be applied. And this is not something which is in Islamic law, but you could say there is a very high grade of respect and of certain subjects you just open your mouth out very very clearly and loudly, but we have to talk about them. But I just bring them, I think, in a more a respectful way, a more understanding way, and on I think in a session where both of the parties will understand what we are talking about. But there's always from the beginning like this opening from my side where I clarify what are the things we have to consider when we are going to do this mediation. And that means not only the differences between the two people in front of me, but understanding the fact that the one comes from this origin and that person has that kind of belief, and you have to respect that all and make sure you have everything and everyone on the same grounds. There could be differences. We could have some inconveniences, but that's the reason there's a mediator to make sure everything goes well, and we could continue talking about things that are important. Because at the end of the mediation, I hope to do it that good that we have talked about the subjects that are important, and not about whether you like cheese or you like soup or these
Mm.
kind of things, which could be nice, but for after the mediation, because it's already a lot of input I have to bring to put for every mediation I do.
Yeah. Okay, Khalid, thank you for that. And so let's start wrapping up. So, what's the best way people can reach you if they want to get a hold of you and help you get mediation to be something you can do for them?
Well, to contact our mediation practice as well as our law practice, they can just visit the website. That's hbmjuristen.nl. Um, we have a lot of channels, clients, and other people can communicate with us. That means we have WeChat for Asia, we have WhatsApp for the rest of the world. We have people can send us an email. We have social media, so we are there. But the website is like the main base
All right.
for
Thank
us.
you so much. And we will have that on the blog post on lmipodcast.com so people can check it out. All right, guys, check this video out and all the other ones on the YouTube channel. Until next time, everyone, take care. Bye bye.